You know, with the internet today, it's easier than ever to learn to play guitar. And in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips to help you get started studying guitar with an online instructor. Hi, I'm John David with Home Guitar Player, and this channel is all about using the internet to get better at playing guitar. For me, getting started learning guitar online was really tough. There's just so much to choose from that it was overwhelming. So let me share with you how I mapped it out. I took 3 simple steps. Step number 1, I looked at the music that I liked the most and that I was the most interested in, and I identified the players that were playing the kind of music that I wanted to learn. Step number 2, I checked out YouTube and searched for instructors and demonstrations of the music and the songs that I most wanted to learn. And step number 3 is I found a site that had a support group of people that would help me learn as I went along. So as I got started, I took a step back and I thought about, where do I want to go with the guitar? And I defined that first. So starting with the end in mind, I really want to perform live. And I want to perform original music, and I want to write and record and produce my own music. So that brought me to step number 1, which was defining my influences, right? So I thought about the guys that I liked the most, and they were singers and lead guitar players. So the very first thing that I did is I went out looking for someone who would teach me that. But, well, I didn't find it. That was tough. That wasn't something that I could find. During my search, though, I did find 3 instructors that had a site with a bunch of course material that I could work through at my own pace. So they were teaching what I really wanted to learn, which was blues and blues-based rock. So I took a hard look at those guys. Video is a great way to learn. And for me, it was important to find a site that had that, because I learn best by watching and listening. Let me make a note right here. One of the things that really helped me in the beginning was to make videos, because once I had made that video, I could see and hear where I was at. Also, I was able to upload those videos to the instructor site and share it with the community, which allowed me to create a solid track record, to see my progress as I went along, and it also gave me a way to interact with the community and to get feedback. Okay, so that brings us to step number 2, which is find someone that has a site that's well organized with sections that suit your playing level and will teach you the things that you want to learn. After watching several instructors on YouTube, I went to their sites. And when I was on their sites as a beginner, learning things on YouTube, I heard people talking about things like the cage system and arpeggios and the pentatonic scale. So I went through the course material of these instructors looking for someone to teach me stuff like that. What I found is that there were 2 main types of lessons in my price range, which is cheap, because I don't want to lay out a bunch of cash on something that I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with. So those 2 types of lesson materials are, number 1, the monthly subscription, pay as you go, cancel at any time, and number 2, the package deal, where you pay one time and you own the material. It's yours forever. My thinking was I wanted the monthly subscription thing where I had active support. As a total beginner, I thought that I would definitely benefit from seeing how other members on the site actually progressed through the lessons, how they addressed the material, and I thought that I would benefit from being able to interact with them, and that would help me along. So I looked for member sites that had an active forum where people were actively posting. And you can usually find the forum in the site's menu bar, and it'll be a drop down, or you can also find forums underneath of video posts where they'll post a lesson. And you can usually read the posts You can't post to them, but you can read them, and you can even see videos of other student playing and see if that really suits your needs. See how the students are progressing through the material and see if that's really going to be something that you can use. And that brings us to step number 3, which is sign up. Once that you have found a member site or a package deal that suits your needs, then that's when you make a choice, you commit, and you buy. The act of paying for lessons, for me, had the effect of creating the need for action because I didn't want to lose the money that I had spent, and I wanted to make sure that I got something for the money that I was laying out. I told myself that if and when I stopped learning from the site, I would stop paying the money. It's always been true for me that when I get something for free, it doesn't seem to have the same value. And when I work for something or when I put down my hard earned money, it seems to mean more. Of course, there are a few exceptions. I see the money that I spend on guitar lessons as an investment, and I want to see a return on that investment in the form of real, measurable progress in my guitar playing. Let me share some of the things that I learned with you on this guitar learning path so far. Set a solid goal in the beginning to just be consistent. In the beginning, work at just finishing one lesson a week and make it a solid thing. Set aside on a calendar or use a sticky note on your monitor or something like that. Guitar lesson every Friday at 7 to 7:30, and make sure that you don't miss it. Make sure in those first couple of months to make your lesson at the same time every week on the same day, and make sure that you practice at the same time every day, and set it up with your family and with your friends so that it becomes a real thing for them too. Make a solid commitment to practice at least 30 minutes a day. Learning to play guitar is a serious thing. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to really see results. And if you can't make that 30-minute commitment, then start with 10 minutes and work every week to try to increase that time. I recommend that you get yourself a small timer. Like I use this one right here. I use this little kitchen timer. Or use an app on your phone. And this I found helps like set up a ritual because I always have to get my timer out and set my timer. And it helps make my guitar practice and my guitar playing a more solid thing. And it helps me keep track of how much time I'm spending. And all these little things that you can use to make your guitar practice ritualistic and give it structure, it just helps make that more of an important part of your day and an important part of your everyday life. When you finish your lesson for the week and before you start your next one, make a recording and be sure to share it with the group. Be sure to look at other people's posts on the same lesson in order to gauge your progress, and be sure to comment on other people's posts to let them know what your thoughts are. Part of learning to play guitar online is supporting the fellow members of the group. You know, learning guitar can be really frustrating sometimes, and anybody who has spent time learning to play has been through it. So people can really help you out and help you get through some of the rough patches that you'll undoubtedly run into. As you progress, you'll find that you can help others along the path. And that's all part of giving back and interacting. And you know, learning to play guitar online can be a very interactive and rewarding thing. Look for opportunities on the site to interact with the instructor directly. On most of these sites, the instructors will have things like challenges or like monthly interactive live sessions where you get a chance to actually get in front of the instructor and in some cases even showcase your playing progress. If you can't contact the instructor directly, then chat with other members and see how you can go about getting in contact with the instructor. But it's been my experience that most of these sites have a way that you can meet or interact with the instructor. And you know, getting feedback directly from your instructor that's always a valuable thing. So look for ways that you can do that. By keeping things simple in the beginning of your guitar playing journey, you'll be better able to deal with some of the stresses that come from learning the instrument. There are a few things to keep in mind right up front that will save you some frustration and some headaches. You don't have to have the best gear to get started. Don't commit to spending more time or money than you can afford. Don't compare yourself to others and give yourself a lot of time to make progress. A final thought. When you buy that first instrument, take a look at the used market first. There are a lot of great instruments that find their way out there to the used market. Things like eBay, Craigslist, pawn shops. Reverb is a great site. And you can really find some bargains out there. If you've got the money, there's nothing wrong with going out and buying a new instrument, but even Guitar Center has a great used section where you can find great instruments at discount prices. In closing, remember to have fun and take a look back every now and then at your progress and realize how far you've come. And you might be surprised to find out just how far you really can go with studying guitar with an online instructor. Every week, I produce new videos about the things that are helping me become better. So if you subscribe down below and you click the bell, you'll be notified every time I come up with something new. All right.